It's long past the time for you to stop seeking validation. Why do so many of us look for validation outside of ourselves when we have yet to validate ourselves? At some point, you have to grow out of that and be your own support system. You have to be your biggest fan in this life. Now, I'm not going to act like validation is the worst thing in the world, because if you're in any industry or field or studying a certain doctrine, it can be empowering to have the favor or the advice of somebody who you look up to, who you've studied, who you've emulated, who you confide in. But you got to be very careful. Yes, these people can help you push harder or make you want to go harder, motivate you more, and make you strive for more and challenge your own status quo. That's 100% true. But if you're not mindful of this, validation can start to feel like a drug. And like any other drug, the more you indulge, the more addicted you become and the higher your tolerance goes. Now, as you built up your tolerance, you're going to need more of said drug to feel what you used to feel from this little bit before. Now you need more to make you feel important. You need more to make you feel worthy and feel like your journey is something worthwhile. Shaping and molding your life around somebody else's approval is a surefire way to lead to disaster. You become a shell of yourself. You become empty. You become devoid of any confidence or self-belief. Because if things don't work out exactly how you wanted them to, and if the right people don't tell you this was worth it, or this is good, or this is great, you don't believe that this is good, or this is great, or this is worth it. That's an easy way to become bitter towards the world, because the world isn't always going to see your magic. That's why you have to see your magic until they see it. Understand this. But your value comes from the magic you see, not from what they see. They don't have to see it. I think it's really important for us to actually sit down and find out, what do we truly want? What do we really want to be? Who do we want to be? What do we want to become? Because you think about life, right? Let's just throw out some examples. Why'd you pick the major you pick? Why do you work a certain job, right? Why do you wear certain clothes? Why do you have your hair a certain way? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? When your soul wants you to do something different, or inside of you, you feel compelled to do something completely different. But usually when people limit themselves and live lives that aren't authentically them, it's linked to somebody else's opinion or somebody else's direction. Whether it be parents, it be teachers, it be coaches, it be advisors, whoever it is. Somebody else is steering your ship. So I'm going to throw out some approval-seeking behaviors that I think people just need to stop. One, changing your opinion on something just because other people have a different opinion. Now, before y'all comment people, before y'all sensitive people start to say, oh, well, if you learn new information, your opinion can change. Yes, your opinion can change if you learn new information. But when we talk about, if I put a song out, right, and this song means everything to me. If I think this song is great, I'm going to think it's great. Even if the world doesn't believe so, right? Everything is not going to be for everybody. And maybe there are things you need to work on. Say if you put a song out and they say, oh, the mix isn't what it needs to be, or the production, or the work on your songwriting. That stuff is fine and dandy, but it doesn't change the fact that you have to see the greatness before it even appears to the world. So don't hear somebody say, or you might be a fan of a team or a certain activity. I like playing water polo. But then I get around some guys that say water polo is corny, and now I think it's corny. Nah, that's not the way to be. Paying fake compliments to gain approval, gassing somebody up that you don't even believe in. What's the point of that? Like, you see it on Twitter or IG stuff all the time. There might be an artist that people only validate because other people have validated them. They only gas because other people gas. And that's just how fans work. That's kind of the natural order of things. But everybody, bro, everything that somebody puts out is not the greatest thing in the world. Myself, any artist, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It's just what we felt like we needed to put out at the time. And it's kind of the beauty and the curse of fans, because the beauty is they gas up almost everything you do. The curse is a lot of the love is fake, and it's just kind of herd and sheep mentality, you know? Some of y'all do things that you don't want to do because you're scared to say no. I've never been peer pressured in my life. I do what I want to do. I was told as a young kid, you know, what you think is cool is the coolest thing in the world. Even if it's not what fits in with the crowd, even if, you know what I mean? As long as you're not harming anybody and you're just being, you know, safe and productive, do what you want to do, son. What do you think is, what's interesting to you? You know, what's cool to me is Disney soundtracks, right? I listen to more of that than I listen to rap. It's just how it is. What's cool to me is studying philosophy. What's cool to me is making these YouTube videos. It's reading and studying the Bible and apocryphal texts and things like that. That stuff is cool to me. It might not be cool to y'all. That's okay. When you start to do things that you don't want to do because you're scared to say no, because you're scared you'll lose favor or approval with some people, it's not a good look, bro. Cut that out. Here's another one. Being scared to disagree. How are you scared to disagree with something? It kind of goes back to the herd mentality. It's like, say for instance, if I'm at a restaurant and I got bad service, now I don't have to flip out. I don't think anybody should be flipping out and screaming and doing that, but I think it's worth it if you feel like fighting that battle to just, in a respectful way to let them know, yo, I come here, I'm respecting your establishment. This is the kind of service I received. I wasn't pleased with it. I'm not going to hold it against you, but, I would like to keep coming back here, and I'd appreciate it if we could both maintain a certain level of respect. If you're scared to do things like that, bro, if you're scared to say something is not good to you or scared to, do better. Some people, they try to be experts on things that they know nothing about in order to seem important. We see this all the time where people who are speaking on certain things probably should not be speaking. What I try to do with all of these videos, before I used to just set my phone up and record and go off the top of my head, right? Now, my nature, I try to only speak on things I know about in the first place, but a lot of my older videos early on in the Kurt Corner was just me kind of going off the top of my head and pulling from different references and examples. Now, over the past year or so, I do research for every video. And that allows me to have more facts to pull from, more data, more substantial evidence for what I'm speaking to you guys about. Now, it's not always perfect. I don't claim to be an expert on any of this stuff. I just like to share with y'all things I'm studying and looking into to add to my life and make my life more peaceful, more fulfilling. So don't act like an expert if you're not, bro. It's okay to not know things. It's 100% okay. Any behavior that contradicts who you truly are, what you truly believe, and what you truly believe in and embody is approval seeking. Clout chasing, whatever you want to call it. Let's call it clout chasing. That's what everybody say nowadays, right? Clout chasing. You keep chasing clout. Some of these artists, their entire identity is based on being a troll or being intentionally jarring just for being jarring. It's not even because they actually believe this stuff. They just want to get attention. They're desperate for fans and for money and for whatever it is. They're desperate. And so they do these things to seek approval. And you see a lot of them when their image in the public sphere starts to fall, or they start to lose favor with the fans, or the fans are tired of their music now. They start to try to do more extreme things. Like, look at Lil Pump, bro. The stuff he's posting. I'm not even going to speak much on it, but I don't follow him. I just seen it on Twitter. People start to beg and beg and beg for more attention, and it ends up looking pathetic at some point, because what you should be standing on is really your virtue, your actual talents and gifts that God bless you with, and your ability to deliver a message to the world, or to be a light to the world in some way. When you can't stand on that, you can't stand on virtue and integrity, you're always going to be playing a part of seeking somebody else's approval, and it makes you look bad. It just makes you a shell of yourself. I deal with this with music all the time, yo. So I've been making music actively for about 4 years now, right? Man, I get better at production every day. I get better at mixing every day. I get better at writing every day. I'm always doing this, right? Outside of working in the gym. I'm always working on my creative endeavors. Music, YouTube, podcasting, writing books, all of this stuff. I'm fully comfortable embracing my journey. I know every day I get better at something, a little bit better. I'm running my own race, but at the same time, I'm human. And I feel myself sometimes seeking validation from publications, from playlisters, from labels, from, other artists, from execs and tastemakers or gatekeepers. And it's tough because part of being an independent artist is you do have to sell yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to be putting yourself out there. But you know how many times I've sent DMs and emails hoping to find somebody that doesn't just listen but hears me? Somebody that can really see the vision that I see in my mind? The point being, though, it's my vision. They're not supposed to always see it initially, you know what I mean? Until I bring it to reality. And man, every time I send an email, we get no response, or the response is, nah, this ain't what we looking for. I don't like the production. I don't like this. I think you should have more hooks on your stuff. I think you should be more catchy and more trendy. I put my life into my music. I put everything I write is true to me. It is my boundless self-expression. It's my life. It's my authenticity. It's never fabricated. So when somebody tells you that your life isn't good enough, it hurts. But I always remind myself to brush it off and go. Because my validation, as a man, my validation, first of all, comes from the Most High, which means it comes from within, right? As a musician, as a creative, as anything in life, I validate myself. Because if I fail to validate myself, the world will never validate me. If I don't believe in the magic of my dream, how can I expect the world to believe in the magic of my dream? They never will. Like, you know how many times people have told me, yo, you gotta rap on more trap beats, you gotta put more hood, you gotta make your songs 2 minutes so that it's more playlist friendly. And sometimes I do try things, because I'm not above taking criticism and I'm not above taking suggestions, because I love to explore and be creative, and ambitious. However, at the core, I don't ride your wave, bro. I don't ride your wave. You're looking for a cog. You're looking for somebody to ride a wave that's already created. I'm not interested in that. I don't care if it takes me 20 years, dog. I'm going to build my wave. I'm going to build my universe and allow anybody that wants to ride to grab a surfboard, man. That's what I'm going to do. I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to continue to beat at my craft and to cultivate my entire world until it becomes a reality. Like, labels told Jay-Z that Reasonable Doubt wasn't it, right? It wasn't good enough. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. And so him and Dame and, Biggs and all them and hip-hop, they Rockefeller Records, what's up? We gonna validate ourselves. Diddy got fired from Uptown, and trying to figure it out. He like, let's make Bad Boy Records then. Let's do it our own way. What's up? Shout out to Odd Future. Shout out to, there's so many, bro, I can go Russ and Griselda. There's so many people. Shout out to them that blazed the trail and that didn't let lack of outside validation stop them from pursuing that dream. Now let's talk about some ways we can stop seeking validation. Number one, take accountability for your life. If you believe that everything is your responsibility, not your fault, but your responsibility, you're gonna feel way more empowered. If I believe that the reason that I'm not on a certain level or the reason I haven't achieved certain things yet is due to maybe not putting in enough work yet, maybe just not enough time yet, maybe, I just haven't figured out my way of doing it yet. But if I believe that I have the power to change that over time, I'm gonna feel way more validated within myself because I understand how powerful I am. And that I don't have to wait for approval for a gatekeeper to validate me. I can go direct to consumer, find people who like what I do and are willing to grow with me and build organically from there. Learn to embrace greatness now and reverse engineer your dreams. I'm working on this every day. If you want to be anything in life, what you should do is find out what that person would be doing day to day. If you want to be a chef, right? What would a professional chef be doing every day? And just peel back the layers and take it step by step into where you are now and start to implement those behaviors. Like, so much of this manifestation and law of attraction is acting as if, or living in the wish fulfilled. It is, if I wake up every day and I feel like, so many pro athletes, they felt like pro athletes as kids. They felt like they had to do certain things because they wanted to be a pro athlete, but they felt like they were already there. The world just didn't know yet. Or Bruno Mars or any artist, they felt like they were something great before the world knew, and they kept going because they knew at some point the world's gonna know how great I am. I want you to embrace that now. Otherwise, you'll never get to where you want to be. You'll never get to where you want to be, bro. They thought Kanye was weird. They thought, bro, you have to validate yourself first. That's the only way you can overcome that doubt from outside and start to validate yourself, and to the point where these gatekeepers and these tastemakers start to beg you for attention. They start to beg to post you. They start to beg, try to pay you to get an interview, pay you to conquer your tendency to self-deprecate and to self-sabotage. When you do this, when you put yourself down, you're signaling to the universe that you place no value in your own thoughts, your own intuition, your own power, your own abilities, and that you're just at the whim of wherever the wind blows. Whoever says something about you, that's what you're defined by. It leaves you emotionally and spiritually bankrupt and unable to bring your magic to the world. When that happens, you're never going to be able to find the peace in your own journey and progression. You're never going to be able to appreciate the small little things and the small wins and steps that you're taking. But you should be doing that, because the magic is in the process and the magic is in the journey. That's the only reason that the mountaintop is even worth speaking about, because of the journey that led to it. You should laugh at the rejections too. Laugh at failure, man. When you taste blood, like a boxer in the ring get punched in his mouth and his lip is bleeding, you see, some boxers, they do that and they get shaky, right? Their legs start shaking, you know what I'm saying? They start running away, they start blocking more. Some boxers do that and let's go. Now the fight started. You gotta fall in love with rejection, bro. You gotta fall in love with failure, because you're gonna laugh at it. Because think of something like Netflix, man. They went to Blockbuster, whatever, and Blockbuster laughed at them. Sure, y'all selling these DVDs, sending them out. Y'all Come on, man, we Blockbuster. Netflix would say, they said, okay, well, they don't see the magic, so guess what? We're gonna create our own magic still, and we're gonna find a way to make it work, and god dang it, they made it work. Respect the fact that everything ain't for everybody, yo. It's so weird. Yo, there's, around 8 billion people in the world. Anything you do, there is an audience for it. You just have to find the audience, and little by little, I'm starting to find that because, bro, I'm not trying to attract Lil Baby's fans. They don't want to hear the type of shit I have to say most of the time. I'm trying to find my tribe because my tribe is not going to interfere with his. Sometimes there's going to be some overlap, of course, but it's not my job to try to convince somebody that likes trap music to like my poetic raps. If it's just not for somebody, that's okay. That's okay. Keep it moving. It doesn't make your journey, your work any less worthwhile. Just keep going. Find your tribe. Something real simple is when you feel yourself seeking approval, think, what do I want this person to tell me? What would make me feel, motivated or inspired to keep going? This doesn't mean avoid constructive criticism. Just on a basic level, what would I like to hear that would make me feel like this journey is worth it? Tell it to yourself. Simple. Next, we should see ourselves as the parent to the child version of our younger selves. What I mean by that is think about that fuzzy feeling you would get when your mom or somebody that you love and look up to would tell you, everything's gonna be okay, kid. Everything's gonna be okay, son. Sweetie, everything's gonna be okay. That kid, when you were a kid, he just wanted to be loved and supported and believed in and encouraged and nurtured. And we should still be finding ways to nurture that inner child, man. He still lives in there somewhere. Yeah, I'm grown now, but my little guy's still in there begging for support and love. I think if you do that, you're gonna start to pull back on some of the self-criticism and the self-deprecation. And lastly, take a social media break. Once again, the magic is in the process, right? And this social media is part of the process, especially nowadays. However, if it's destroying your mental health, if it's causing you to, seek approval from others on an incredibly insane level, you have to find ways to scale back and have a better relationship with this app or this platform. You have to, otherwise you're gonna implode. And I do not want to see anybody implode. Scale back, find a way to validate yourself. Confidence comes from repetition, not accomplishments. I said that in a verse. Get your reps in, man. Spend your time working. Get your reps in. Connect with people, but get your reps in. That confidence breeds. Now when you present yourself back to the platform, you're gonna feel more confident off rip. You're gonna feel more validated within yourself already. And these people can't tear down these powerful walls that you've built, these powerful pillars that you can stand on. So please, no more seeking validation. Love y'all, man. I'm out.